Okay, hey everybody, we had some technical difficulties on our first call, so we are doing part two of the gut health call. Sonia was talking to us about the CDC, and we really want to hear more about that, so we're going to continue on. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you, Laura. So for those of you who caught it, the population, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, is 318 million people in the United States. And there are 70 million Americans who suffer from digestive diseases. That is a cost to us of over $100 billion. That is huge. If you remember what Stephanie said at the beginning, gut health is not a new issue. It's been around for a long, long time. And according to the CDC, these chronic diseases that we've been talking about, they are the most common, they're the most costly, and they're the most preventable of all health problems. Obesity, 1/3 of adults, or 78 million people, suffer from obesity, 22 million from arthritis, and diabetes is the leading cause of kidney failure. So the cost of the chronic diseases and the health risk behaviors are the most costly cost. 86% of healthcare spending, that's 86%, are people with these chronic medical conditions. That's huge when you think of all the other ways that people get sick or people have to spend money on health issues. If you hear dings and pings on my phone, that's just my triplex working. Okay. There is a proper way to take gut health. Holly and Stephanie just went through some very complex things going on in our body, and it is not going to take a magic pill to make it all better. Taking the triplex the proper way is the only way that you're going to get the maximum results. And gut health is not it's not a fad word. We need to take it very, very serious. It's not just a cool word to throw around. Just ask your doctor about gut health. Ask your doctor about leaky gut. It relates to your overall health, including pain management and weight loss. Once you get gut healthy, it will enhance your pain management. It will enhance your weight loss. I will tell you my gut health, leaky health testimonial right now. A year ago at convention, I had to actually come back a day early and have emergency surgery. I'm in my mid-60s, so I've been putting a lot of toxins in my body for a lot of years. And what it did is it weakened the abdominal wall of my stomach. And to make a long story short, without all the gory details, I ended up having to have the wall of my stomach, the lining, replaced with mesh. That's what it does to your body when you put toxins in it for so long. And even though I eat healthy now, you can just go clean your bathroom with scrubbing bubbles and you're breathing in toxins. Or I love to clean with my 409 Clorox bleach and I'm breathing in toxins. And so the secret is to find out, how do we kill these off? How do we get them out of my body? And it's a long process. It's not going to take overnight. After I had my surgery, I had only been on the Slim for a couple of months and I'd lost 15 pounds. I was all excited about it. But after my surgery, which was so serious, my doctor said I had to be very careful what I put in my body. So when I went to have the 30 staples removed from my stomach, I took my bag of Plexus products with me. And in that bag was my Slim that I took, and the ProBio 5 and BioCleanse that my husband took, I wasn't taking, and the X Factor, and another supplement we were taking. And I was so afraid that my doctor was going to say, you can't take any more anything like that. But you know what he did? He read the label on the ProBio 5, and he said to me, he said, you need to be on this. And in layman's terms, he said, we all have good germs and bad yeast and good yeast. And he said, this probiotic will kill off the bad yeast. It will give you the good yeast and the good germs that you need, and it will kill off the bad. He actually told me to start taking the ProBio 5, and I wasn't even on it. So, and I've been on this now for a year. It's taken me a year. One thing I wanted to go over, because the triplex, when it's used incorrectly and people don't have results, they immediately say, didn't work for me. I created a triplex non-scale issue sheet. I don't know if you can see that or not. Laura is going to include it. But you need to have a conversation with your new ambassadors, with your new customers, and you need to write down and document exactly where their body function is right now before they start taking the triplex. And it asks questions like sugar cravings, specific food cravings, snacks, portion control. How much do you drink of soda, alcohol, energy drinks, coffee? Do you have migraines, depression, anxiety, mood swings? Do you smoke? Do you have that mid-afternoon crash? And what is your daily energy level? Is it low, medium, high? Do you have trouble sleeping? And when you wake up, how do you feel? Do you jump out of bed, or are you crawling on the floor like I used to? And how do your clothes fit? They're just the clothes you wear every day. How do they fit you? And finally, we're going to talk about something. If it bothers you, I'm not going to apologize, because it's the most important thing we're going to talk about, and that's your bowel movements. How often do you have bowel movements? I will tell you that my entire life, I had a bowel movement about every 4 days. 4 days. And I thought that was normal. It was normal for me. Little did I know that was a sign my body was telling me something was wrong. So we're going to talk about bowel movements. You're going to ask your new ambassador, ask your customer, how often do you have bowel movements? And any doctor will tell you, your bowels should be moving at least once daily. My doctor likes mine to move twice daily, but at a minimum, your bowels should be moving regularly every single day. So we're going to talk even a little bit more about bowel movements in a minute. So first and foremost, pay attention to your body. Write down on that chart where your body is right now. Otherwise, you won't know where you end up at. Very important, do not start taking all of these products at one time. They are to be introduced to your body slowly, one product at a time. It took you a long time to get unhealthy. It took a long time for the toxins that you put in your body to do the damage that it's done. So don't expect results in 30 days. Don't expect results in 60 days. You might have them, and that's great if you do. It took me a year, but I have to tell you, I could still be where I was last year had I not started the triplex. It took me a year to get where I'm at, to get regular. And I have to tell you, I am a new person, but it's taken me a year of patience and taking the products properly. So let's talk about that. The Slim, the very first product you're going to take is your Slim. And you're going to take it for 2 weeks. Now let me say something to all the ambassadors out there. There are black and white areas of taking these supplements, and that sometimes you have to do this, sometimes you should not do that. There are a lot of gray areas. So what I'm going to tell you are recommended times when you take these products, and compare that to what's on the packaging, with all of you keeping in mind that what works for me may not work for you, and so forth. And that's why it's important for ambassadors and customers to stay in communication together and discuss what is happening with your body, so that you know you're taking it at a time when it's right for you. So the Slim, it says for you to take it 30 minutes before any meal, and you can take it twice a day. Now for me, I take it in the morning between breakfast and lunch. I'm hypoglycemic, so I cannot take it first thing in the morning. But for me, it works to take it between breakfast and lunch. And I seldom ever take a second slim in the afternoon. It's usually when I've had a busy day. So just be smart about it. Listen to your body. Your body may not need to take it twice a day. For me, on a normal day, once a day is fine. And take it in the morning. I recommend you not take it in the evening. I've heard people tell me they have trouble sleeping if they take it in the evening. So my recommendation, based on what I've learned and based on what I got from the gut health training that Annie Hale gave to us, it's best to take it in the morning. And then you have started your cut phase, that very first phase that we talked about. In that cut phase, you're going to start cutting out those cravings, hopefully decreasing some stress, maybe stopping those migraines. You're going to have a lot of cutting out a lot of bad habits that you've had. I craved chocolate. Oh, I was a chocoholic, and donuts and honey buns. I couldn't walk out of Walmart without eating a honey bun. But what the Slim did for me is took those cravings away. It just cut that all out of my life. So you're going to do that for 2 weeks. Then on week 3, you're going to introduce the ProBio 5. And I'd recommend you take one at bedtime and continue that for 2 weeks as you stay on the Slim the whole time. I'm going to read the ProBio 5 label to you. It says take 1 serving each evening with each evening meal or at bedtime for maintenance. And what's optional is that you can take up to 4 capsules with your evening meal or at bedtime until the desired results are achieved. Some people get results with 1 pill. Others, it takes 2. According to Annie, some people take 3, and she said it was rare that you need 4 in order to break all that down in your body. But there are some people that need the 4. The trick is to figure out what your body needs. And how do you know you're having, you're taking it up? You're going to have those die-off symptoms. You're now in the kill phase. The ProBio 5 is the kill phase. And if you listen to what Holly and Stephanie said, there's a lot of stuff going on in your body. And if someone comes to you and says, I can't take this anymore, I'm having headaches, I'm nauseous, I'm bloating, I don't want to take this anymore, you know what you should say to them? You should say, great, that's good. That's exactly what we want to happen. We want your body to react to that. That's your body telling you that there's some stuff going on in there. So now you're going to want to go into, now that you're in the kill phase, what's happening is it's taking your bad germs, bacteria, yeast, it should be breaking it all down. If you're feeling those symptoms, that's okay, it's working. And if you're not feeling anything at all, increase it to 2 ProBio 5s because you should be feeling something or it's not working in your body. I recommend bedtime. Some people take it with their evening meals, so take it when it works for you. I just keep it on my nightstand. And now we're going to get into the clean phase, the bio cleanse. After you've been on your 2 weeks of the ProBio 5 and the Slim, start your bio cleanse and start with 1 bio cleanse. The label says, it's suggested that you take 2 capsules with 8 ounces of water 2 times a day between meals. That's what's recommended. I personally get severe diarrhea when I take 2. And I certainly wouldn't want my customer to go through that. Because of that, I recommend starting out with 1, just in case 1 does the trick. Because if they start out and immediately have diarrhea, that is a huge turnoff, and they're not going to want to have anything to do with it. So just because of my personal experience, I recommend they start off with 1 bio cleanse. And that's going to start washing the bad stuff out of the body. And this is also where some disagreement comes And it's only a disagreement because we all need to understand that our bodies are different. Many months ago, someone had posted on our team page that they took the Bio Cleanse at night with their ProBio 5. And this was a person that was very credible and sounded like she knew what she was talking about. So I switched the Bio Cleanse from morning to night. And when I went to listen to the gut health training, Annie Hale had said, never take the Bio Cleanse at night, always take it in the morning. I went up and talked to her afterwards about that and told her I'd been taking it at night. And the first thing she said to me was, I bet you're not sleeping at night. And I almost fell off my chair because I had not been sleeping well at night. I was getting up 4 times a night, sometimes 5 times a night, thinking I had to go to the bathroom, not knowing why I was up. And, you know, with all of that oxygenation going on and passing the gas, all of this that is happening in our body that we don't notice during the day as much because we're active, if that's happening when we're sleeping, it's going to wake us up. So I switched back to taking it in the mornings, and life is good. So I take my one Bio Cleanse, and for me, that's enough. I think I've got about a 10-minute warning on this. Anyway, read the label, and remember that everyone is different. On the same day that you take your Bio Cleanse, you can increase your ProBio 5 to 2 at bedtime. Do this for 2 weeks. And during that 2 weeks, if your bowels are not moving, then increase your Bio Cleanse to 2. Start off with 1. Again, the secret to the triplex working is that you introduce it slowly and understand how your body is reacting to what you're putting into it. And then you can get into a maintenance. For me, maintenance is 2 ProBios at night, 1 Bio Cleanse in the morning, 1 Slim in the morning. That's what works for me. It may not work for you, but what everybody needs to do is to introduce the triplex slowly, 1 product at a time, and do not skip. I go back to what Holly and Stephanie shared with us about what is happening in our body. Can you imagine if our body just starts absorbing the good yeast that's eating up the bad yeast, and the Bio Cleanse is flushing it out, and then all of a sudden we just forget to take it one day, and the next day we think, well, I didn't feel anything. Believe me, you're not going to get results, so you cannot miss a day. You have to take it. And don't expect a miracle. This process takes time. Gut health is huge. And if you don't take care of your gut, you young ladies out there, if you don't start now, you could end up like this 60-plus-year-old woman and have some really serious gut issues. And you don't need to. You just need to be smart. I think that's about all I have, and we're just about out of time. So I'm going to leave you with this. Don't rush the triplex. Go slow to go fast. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Sonia. I'm so glad that we were able to get that recorded. That is great information. I just had a customer of mine message me this morning, and she let a friend of hers have some of her ProBio 5, and she said she's having headaches and she's not feeling good and she's wanting to stop it. And I knew immediately it's that detox, and she was not taking it the right way. And so I'm so glad you were able to really kind of explain how to take it and how important it is to be very slow about it and for us to listen to our bodies. If you're a customer, an ambassador, or maybe a potential listening to or watching this call with us today, thank you so much for being on. We hope and pray that you have listened, that you have learned a little bit more about our guts, how they work, how important they are for our overall health. We hope that you will, in turn, if you're an ambassador, take this to train your other ambassadors on your team, share with your customers, or even maybe give it to some potentials that you know it could be helpful for them to hear. Just as I was listening to Stephanie, Holly, and Sonia talk, I was thinking of multiple people that I was like, oh, they need to hear this. They need to know how important gut health is. So, ladies, if you will let us see your lovely faces again, we will say goodbye to everybody. Thank you so much, Sonia, Holly, and Stephanie, for being on. There she is. And you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Thanks for taking your time to train us. We really appreciate it, and we love you guys. Go Plexus. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.